Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Heart to Heart with Shikha, and today's conversation is about karmic relationships. Before we start with our conversation, I would like to request you all to subscribe to my channel if you already have not subscribed, and also like and share this video with other people, your family, your friends, so that they can also learn something about the karmic relationships. So we are going to talk what are these karmic relationships and how do we identify a karmic relationship and how do we detach from a karmic relationship, especially if it is causing a lot of stress in your life. So I have spoken about different kind of soul connections in my past videos. And if you would like to know more about them, you can go back and check out the videos on soul contracts. So one of the soul relationships I had mentioned, and they were called karmic relationships. So karmic relationships are also soul connections, but they are a different kind of soul connection. These are soul connections based on your past life karma. Now, what is karma or karma as we actually call it in Hindi? That's how it's pronounced correctly, karma. But because I'm talking to a lot of viewers who have heard the word karma more than karam, so I will still refer to it as karma. So what is this karma? Karma is like everything it is, let's put it this way. So every time, those of you who believe in reincarnation and past lives, every time we are in a certain lifetime, we accumulate some kind of karma, some kind of baggage, some kind of dues, some kind of debt, based on the relationships we have with other people. I will just take it in a very simple term. Instead of taking it as the literal term, I will give an analogy of money. So say suppose if I borrowed $10 from somebody in this lifetime. Now it is my responsibility to return this $10 to that person in the next lifetime when we are together again. Now, if I don't return this $10 to the person whom I took that money from, then it will accumulate some interest on it. And then slowly and gradually over a period of lifetimes, it becomes from $10 to $100. So I am accruing more karmic debt. That's how I put it. So the best way is to get rid of the karmic debt is that we actually pay it in every lifetime to whoever we need to pay it back to. And that ways we don't accumulate it. Now, in terms of life, it's not actually the money you borrowed. It's the karmic debt is in terms of, suppose if somebody took care of me in this lifetime, then either in this very lifetime, I reciprocate by taking care of that same person. But if I fail to do that, then in the next lifetime, I should be able to return the favor that, oh, okay, you took care of me in the last lifetime, I would do it in this lifetime for you. Now, you would be wondering, how do I even know if I borrowed something or if I, there was some karmic debt? That is the way to know it is that obviously the pre-birth contracts you signed before you reincarnate in this lifetime. So we all decide before we come to this planet that, okay, because so-and-so owed me so-and-so, so I will become their friend in this lifetime, and then I will return my karmic debt and so on. And that's how we get associated with these people. They are not soulmates, they are karmic connections. So there is always something involved in these relationships, whether you have to repay some kind of debt in terms of even financial debts. Even financial is a karmic debt. Yes, it is. So, and then obviously service is a karmic debt also. So whatever you owe to that person, you need to return it. Now, how do we know what is the karmic debt we have? Of course, when you become more spiritually aware of things, that's when you know about these karmic debts and all these things. You can find out through your Akashic records and past life regression that if you have karmic debts with these people, because sometimes there's somebody in our life who's constantly causing us a lot of pain, a lot of trouble, but we don't know why this person is causing us so much pain, in spite of us being so nice to them, in spite of us taking care of them, in spite of doing everything for them, but they're still not basically returning or reciprocating to our feelings. That's when we know that this is a karmic connection. And it usually is like, sometimes you have kids and you do everything for your children, and as they grow up, they are so ungrateful, so thankless towards you, and they're constantly bringing you down, being disrespectful towards you, in spite of you being a good parent. Or if you are in a relationship, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your husband, or your wife, you are doing everything to make that marriage work, but it seems like everything is futile. Or even your own parents, you have been a good child, you have been a good kid, but your parents are always bringing you down, saying things which are very discouraging. So these are actually karmic connections, when you don't feel that love and affection from both sides. The love is not free flowing from both sides. It's just that one person is giving, and the other person is just taking, and being thankless. So that's when you know that the bond you have with this person is nothing but a karmic connection. And you feel the intensity when you first associate with them, when you first meet them, obviously, because they are your parents. If you're born in that family, you feel the love for your parents. And then over a period of time, their behavior towards you is not what you see other parents behaving with their children. That's when you know this is a karmic connection. You fall in love with somebody, you have an intense romantic relationship, and then you get married to them, and then they turn out to be something completely different. And over the period of time, they are constantly bringing you down, or they are just fighting with you all the time, and things like that. Then it's a karmic connection. Your own children, when they were little, you gave them all the love, you nurtured them, you cared for them, and as they grow older, they become disrespectful towards you, they even abandon you. They in your old age, they put you in an old age home, and they never care for you. They are just constantly angry with you, any of those things. Then it's a karmic connection. Because even though you are bound by these relationships, but there is no love, respect, trust in these relationships, and these are karmic relationships, because they are purely in your life because you have some debt you owe to them, and that is why it is happening. Now, what do we do about this? How do we get rid of this, or how do we smoothen the relationship? So when the karmic debt is about lessons, so like suppose if you had to learn a lesson of say patience from your children, and you are failing to learn this lesson because maybe one of your child who's creating so much of problem in your life, and this child was probably you had created something for them in your past life. Now they have come back in this life of yours to teach you patience, and that is why the way they are. I'm not saying like they are bad people, but say suppose you, just for example, I'm just taking, you have a child with some kind of anxiety or depression. Now this child who has come in your life with anxiety and depression, and you are getting overwhelmed dealing with this child and not understanding why they are behaving the way they are behaving, is because they are here to teach you patience. So you have to deal with patience with them in order to be able to clear that karmic debt. So now if your child, you're not able to deal with it and you're constantly upset with them, or you are like angry at them because the way they are behaving, and you're not patiently trying to understand what their problem is, then you're not learning your lesson of patience. And so now you are accumulating even more karmic debt on yourself, and you are increasing your baggage. So when the next lifetime will happen, then it will be twofold. Whatever you're experiencing now, it will be even more. So it is very, very important. Look at all your relationships very, very carefully. And if you are having trouble in your relationships, instead of playing the blame game that, oh, you did this and because of you this is happening to me, no, don't do that. Look at the relationship, understand why this is happening, and try to figure out, is there something which I need to learn from this person? Do I owe something to this person? And when you find the reason why somebody is behaving the way they are behaving with you, then you will be able to focus on the lesson you need to learn from them, and you can clear out your karmic debt with them, and then you will be at peace. Because then once you learn the karmic debt, once you clear the karmic debt, and once you learn the lesson you have to learn from this person or people, or they could be anybody, it could be anybody. When you learn this lesson from whoever you need to learn it from, you will understand that their actions no longer stress you out or bother you, or you feel restless because of them. You won't be able to change them. They will still remain the same, because it's for them to figure it out. You will not be able to change them, but you will be able to clear your karmic debt which you owe to them. That's all I'm saying. And then if sometimes if it becomes too much, like if it becomes that you learned the lesson, you did everything whatever you did to clear all the debt, but still they are being a problem in your life, they are creating a lot of trauma, and they're constantly putting blocks in your life, then that is the time to cut cords with them and detach with them. When I mean to say detach and cut cords, it doesn't mean that all the husbands and wife will start thinking that, oh, do I need to divorce my wife or do I need to divorce my husband? No, that's not what I'm saying. That means that you can cut cords with them in a spiritual way, so that their negative energy and their actions are not going to affect you anymore. You still are associated with them in the physical world. They still are related to you. They are still a part of your life. But you will get a better understanding of their actions and not have full-blown reactions when they act in a certain way or say something. You'll stop taking things very personally, because then you will understand where they are coming from. So you cut cords with them, you detach from them, you stop getting their energy, and it stops affecting you. And that's how you move on from your karmic relationships. Of course, in some very, very toxic karmic relationships, when the lesson is too intense, or if it is too much of baggage, like if it is a lifetime of lessons, like as I said, that if you do not understand or learn the lesson, then you are carrying more and more baggage, and that becomes very, very toxic. And when that toxicity happens, then of course you need to move away from that relationship. You need to cut the cords, you need to clear the karmic debt from them, and you completely disengage from them in this lifetime. And again, if it's a husband-wife relationship, you divorce them. If it's a parent relationship, then you move away from them. So those are the other things that you can do to get away from them. But that should be the last thing you want to do, because obviously we need to make things work, and we need to think about other people in our lives when we take a decision in our lives based on what we want to do with our relationships, especially the closer ones. So that is about karmic relationships. If you want to know more about karmic relationships, if you want to find out more about your karmic relationships, you can always have a past life regression done and go to your Akashic records and get a reading done that way. So in the Akashic records, which is actually a book of records, and I will be doing a guided meditation for that very soon. So you can go and look at your Akashic book and see the soul contracts you have with the people, and also see the kind of lessons you need to learn from them or teach them also. And that ways you can sort your life out that way too. So wishing everybody all the very best in their relationships, and hoping that you can minutely look at your relationships and understand whether they're karmic, whether it's a soulmate, what kind of connection you have with people around you. And that ways you can have better relationships. So again, feel free to get in touch with me if you would like to know more about this. And if you want to have a past life regression done, or if you want to view your Akashic records and learn more about the karmic relationships, I wish again all of you the very best in the future with your relationships and everything you're doing. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Once again, share, subscribe, and like. And we will again soon connect for another conversation, which will be again a heart-to-heart. And let me know if you have any topic you would like me to discuss and if you want to know more about. Take care. Bye. Talk to you soon.